With the release of Kingdom Come Deliverance II this past week, comparisons have inevitably been drawn up between the visceral medieval RPG and Bethesda's classic The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, and it is a fair question. Has there been another open-world RPG game as good as Skyrim since, well, Skyrim? The only other game that really matched Skyrim for me was The Witcher 3 in 2015, but when we really think about what made Skyrim so good, a lot of it came down to the open world exploration and the moment-by-moment gameplay, and KCD2 is a game that seems similar to Skyrim at first glance because of the similarity in how you level up skills and in the first-person open-world gameplay. There's even smithing, alchemy, locksmithing, pickpocketing, and numerous weapons to master, and in some ways, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is actually more immersive and reactionary to what you do in the game. Like, if you steal the clothing of someone and a family member recognizes it, then you could be reported to the authorities. Or, if you've been fighting for a while and fallen pig crap, the NPCs in this game will comment on how bad you smell. Reviewers have also stated that by the time you make it to the end of the game, the jank that exists with the combat earlier in the game scales similarly to Skyrim in that you can become pretty dang powerful and just muscle your way through different camps by the end. Bizarre bugs like NPCs floating through walls have even been reported, again, similar to Skyrim. So yeah, at surface level, this game does seem a lot like Skyrim, and while KCD2 honestly kind of improves on that incredible open world formula that Skyrim first patented, another question to consider is, does KCD2 have the charm that Skyrim did? From a variety of published reviews, KCD2 seems to have passed the charm test with flying colors, with outlets reporting on the excellent variety of quests, and again the reactionary world that you take part in. The Metacritic right now is even sitting at an 88. However, Skyrim is a game that won people over because of its accessibility, and while KCD2 seems to outdo Skyrim in relation to charm and quality at times, it's true that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 does not have that same level of accessibility. Just to offer an example, GamesRadar gave the game 4 out of 5 stars, but said, quote, "Combat is one of the least appealing aspects of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, more like something you have to do rather than something you'd go out of your way to engage in, arguably a realistic response to violence. Its directional system for attacking, blocking, and parrying can feel weighty one moment, yet hard to parse the next. At times, inconsistent animations have hits on enemies you swore connected failed to register. It's especially messy during group fights, exacerbated by an annoying targeting system that I found could all too easily disengage at inopportune moments. Of course, you would expect being outnumbered by the enemy to be unwieldy and difficult in real life too, but it's also unsatisfying when some of these encounters are just about enduring long enough before a cutscene arbitrarily moves things along. Expect to see the partying skeleton on the game over screen many times. So yeah, while you can apparently become pretty OP by the end of the game, the journey to get to that point can be rather frustrating and difficult. Think of it this way, Skyrim had more of a video gamey feel to it. KCD2 is a game that focuses more on realism. Both are good in their own respective ways, but if you're a person that gets frustrated easy when games feel unfair or janky, then this one might ring some alarm bells for you. In its own comparison of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 to other similar games in that open world RPG genre nowadays, GameSpot also described it as, quote, "still slow-paced compared to its contemporaries, with some quests revolving around carrying sacks of grain and crafting weapons by gradually hammering heated steel on an anvil. But this is all part of its charm if you're someone who can appreciate placid moments in service of world building and immersion. The only time this approach infuriated me was in relation to how selling items works. Most merchants lack the money to pay for everything you want to flog, so you have to embark on multiple trips to various shops, moving items back and forth between your horse and your person to avoid over-encumbrance. This is a process you'll typically repeat every few hours, and I wish it weren't the case." Now, this to me kind of sounds like how video games were around the time Skyrim released, and even now, in some respects. Vendors often didn't have enough gold then either to pay me for all the loot that I'd stolen in that game. The act of blacksmithing also seems similar to something like Skyrim, but KCD2 does feel rather tedious at times. But Let me give you one more direct quote and example that specifically ties Bethesda's Skyrim to KCD2 and compares the two in a fairly meaningful way. From IGN, they state, quote, "In many ways, Kingdom Come Deliverance II feels like it's picked up and run with the reactive first-person RPG torch that Bethesda left lying in the mud years ago in pursuit of a broader audience. And it has excellent melee combat, which the Elder Scrolls never came close to even at its peak. Sometimes it's not sure if it wants to be a cinematic tale about a specific guy going on a specific adventure, or a truly dynamic open-world sandbox packed with interesting and varied side quests, and that can lead to a few immersion-shattering conflicts. But most of the time, leaning into one doesn't get in the way of another, and you're free to go on any of its many optional adventures along the way to a thought-provoking and rousing finale for the main plot. I was delighted to get lost in its world, and it will be a long time before I forget its exceptional story." So yeah, maybe Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 really is the new Skyrim for modern gamers, or at least the closest thing that we're going to get until the Elder Scrolls 6 releases or an Oblivion remake drops. But KCD2 has all the skill-based upgrade systems, lockpicking and smithing, a reactive open world, and a heck of a lot of charm. Perhaps KCD2 even outdoes Bethesda at their own game at times, but this is also one that I can see folks becoming frustrated with due to the difficulty early on. What are your thoughts? Is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 really as good as Skyrim was back in 2011? Do you think KCD2 is even better in some ways than the Elder Scrolls series was? Shout out down in the comments below and let me know what you're thinking. Anyhow, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next level.